Hey everyone, this is Job, and this is another Journal with Me video. Before I start explaining what's happening on screen, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who left such kind comments on my past videos or earlier videos. I can't wait to film more, but first of all, the video quality is still really poor in this video. It's potato quality since I'm using an old iPhone to film this. But hopefully when my new tripod arrives, I can use my usual filming camera so I can film nicer videos. But anyways, let me get started with this Journal with Me video. So first of all, you just saw me sifting through my folder of scrap paper, and I chose this craft sheet of paper, and I'm cutting it down to the size of one side of the spread or one page of my notebook. I love the look of craft paper, and sometimes I get quite bored of just a simple blank white sheet of paper for my journal spread, so I like to do this quite often just to spice up my notebook. That just sounds so weird. Anyways, so I'm just heavily taping that down as usual with my tape runner, and I'm just checking to see if there's any overhang, but there isn't. So now I took out that infamous calendar notebook flippy thing. I don't know what it's called. If anyone knows what it's called, please let me know. But one of those calendar sheets, and I'm sifting through that folder of goodies again to find some scrap paper because, as you know, I like to jazz up my dates. While I was in Canada, my friend gave me a whole bunch of books and music notes and just random sheets of paper that I could use in my journal. And while I was sifting through that pile, I found this scrap or ripped page off of a SpiderMan comic, and I love Marvel, so I had to use this. I didn't feel too bad ripping up that comic book scrap because it was, after all, just a scrap from a comic book. I didn't have to actively rip up a comic book. But anyways, Spider-Man will be featured on today's spread, I guess. So I wanted to put that classic grid tape down, but I decided not to so I could put some paint down first. So as usual, I like to go in with my browns and oranges and yellows since I like that earthy tone in my journal. I guess it just goes with that vintage / worn in look. So I'm just mixing up some random colors and just making sure it's all blended. After the paint dried, I went in and ripped up a music notebook, and I know some of you might cringe at seeing me do this, but I have no use for that music book, so I thought I might as well use it in my journal. So I ripped up some music note sheets and put it in my journal, and as usual, I'm using my favorite tape runner from Daiso, and it's very inexpensive here in Korea. So after taping that down, I went in with my scissors and I snipped off the dangling bits off the page, and now I'm going in with my tape runner again. I love this thing, as you already know, and I'm getting or taping Spider-Man down onto the sheet finally. And after I took out that washi grid paper from Classicy, and I'm finally putting it down on the sheet as well. And now I'm taking out my favorite stamp set, or my current favorite stamp set right now, and it's the Recollections Alpha stamp set, and it's my first acrylic stamp set ever, so I think you already know that if you've watched my first Journal with Me video. But anyways, I'm taking down the letters to make up Thursday, and I don't know if it's just me, but it honestly takes me forever to organize these little letters down on my acrylic block. I could never get it straight, and if you wait just a few seconds, you'll see just how wonky the stamp ended up looking. I guess I didn't properly space them, or I didn't make sure that they were straight or locked onto the grid properly. But anyways, you'll see once I stamp it down, the S is a little bit wonky, but I guess that's okay. And the sad thing is I actually had to edit a part of this video out because it honestly seems like I took 5 minutes just trying to organize those stamps, and it still ended up looking a little bit wonky, but oh well, that's life. So now after cleaning those stamps and placing it back in its plastic sheet, I'm going in with some more stamps, and in this case I'm going in with a wooden stamp set, and it says OCT, which stands for October, obviously. You might have not noticed, but I actually elasticated the O and the C and the T stamp together just to make it easier to stamp October in my spreads. So now I'm going in with a aquash brush pen that's filled with some sumi ink, and I'm finishing off that date, and now I'm trying to decide what else to put on the spread. So now I'm taking some washi tapes, since I haven't put any washi tapes on the spread, and I'm trying to decide which tape to put down. I ended up going with this red and white washi tape from Muji, and now I'm trying to sort through my other washi tapes, and I'm trying to find a washi tape that could go near the date to fill that empty spot. So I ended up going with another reddish maroon shade tape, and I think that one's from Muji as well. Yeah, it's from Muji as well. And then I took another red maroon tape, and this had a, I guess, ruler or tape measure print on it. So after cleaning up and putting my washi tapes back, tried to, I guess, take off a little stain on my spread. And then after trying to decide what to do next, I took out my Tim Holtz Distress Spray and I sprayed it near the bottom of the page. And looking back at it now, I didn't really like how it looked because it took away from the white paper of the music paper or the music note paper, and it just made it look like part of the craft paper. But oh well, you live and you learn. After taping down those two postage stamps, I started the right hand side of the spread. So basically I took some scrap paper and ripped it up and then taped or glued it down, and it's basically acting as a background to my date. And as usual, I took out a slip or sheet from my calendar booklet, and I like to use that a lot in my spreads, you all probably know. And I took another post-it. This is a smaller post-it and it's made to look like a ticket stub, which is awesome. So now I took out my Zig brush pen and I'm using this, I guess, pinky rose color just to script out Friday. Then I took a sticker that looks like a stamp and I put it down near the Friday. And what you just saw is me ripping up a cereal box, and you might think I'm crazy for doing it, but I love incorporating everyday items into my journal. I think it's fun and it adds something unexpected to my journal pages, so when I flip back I can see something from my everyday life. And you can see I'm having a little coffee break there and a little snack, since you gotta stay hydrated and full while journaling. Anyways, after my little snack, I went in with some watercolors and I'm gonna tie in that little scrap from my cereal box in with a tiny painting of a bowl of cereal. So I guess this is a little story time, but I guess it's been really bad since I've been eating a lot of cereal for dinner. I live alone here in Korea, and sometimes you're just too lazy to cook dinner, and I love cereal, so don't judge me, but I like to have cereal for dinner once in a while. I'm getting better though, I love to cook. Okay, anyways, I'm rambling here now, but anyways, I am writing, or I guess painting, that cereal bowl near that little scrap from the cereal box, and the bowl that I eat cereal out of is this bluish minty green color, and now I am filling in that bowl with tiny dots of brown because I like to eat Cocoa Puffs, or I guess the Korean version of Cocoa Puffs, as my cereal of choice. I guess this is a little TMI. Anyways, I am just scripting out cereal is life, and I think it's a little cheeky and a little funny, and it kind of encapsulates that moment in time, which is what journaling is all about. I think it kind of captures my mood on that Friday, and I think the painting turned out pretty cool actually. But the sad thing is it took up a lot of room and there's not much room for writing. As you can see, I'm pretty much done with the spread. I'm just adding a few finishing touches, and I guess I went in with my Cavallini wooden stamps, and I just stamped that little finger hand pointy stamp. I really like that stamp, but I actually don't know what to call it. Then I went in with some classic-y stamps of my initials. So after that, I just put my stamps away. Although I like how the Friday turned out on the date, I think it covered a little bit too much of the calendar sheet that I taped down, and you can't really see the 7 on the date. So I'm going in with my favorite gold pen, and I believe it's from Pentel, and I'm just filling in that 7 just so you can see it a little bit more clearly. So the spread is pretty much finished now. I'm just going in with my favorite TWSBI fountain pen, and I'm gonna do the journaling off camera as usual. Thanks for watching, and I hope you like this journal with me. I know the voiceover was a little bit weird this time because I was a little hyper, but I was drinking a lot of coffee while editing this video, so I'm sorry. And also, please let me know if you would like to hear a voiceover for the next journal with me, or if you rather just listen to some music while watching me work in my journal. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!